Hey, RPD, Jesse Pierce here from Reconnect Rochester and the Rochester Cycling Alliance. Together, we champion transportation choices that result in a more vibrant and equitable community. We're eager to support you and collaborate with you on bike education. So a special thank you to Chief Singletary and Deputy Chief Mark Mura for having us submit this bike refresher. Let's dive right in. First off, we like pointing out that Rochester has a lot of plans in motion to get more people on bicycles, especially when you look at the Rochester 2034 plan, which is our 15-year plan. Biking is all over that thing, and it's really exciting to see. This goes beyond just being a cool city. Rochester meets a lot of goals by getting people on bicycles, whether it's reducing congestion or reducing carbon footprint, less wear and tear on the roads. It is a more cost-effective means of getting people to their destinations. And of course, it results in a more active, healthy community. And of course, for a city dealing with the poverty that the city deals with, getting around by bicycle is a more cost-effective way for people to get around. So Rochester is also very fortunate in that the average city resident has a 4.1-mile commute. That's 25 minutes tops at a casual pace. So I don't know many other cities that are as well situated to capture some trips by bicycle as Rochester is. Um, as far as cyclists on the road, cyclists are granted the same rights and responsibilities as drivers of motor vehicles. Rochester updated its bike code last year to say that children 12 and under need to be riding on the sidewalk if they do not have an adult with them. But when you turn 13, and the same goes for adults, you really ought to be riding on the road where you are more visible and predictable. Nothing goes towards making a cyclist safe like visibility and predictability. New York state law is that cyclists ride as far to the right as is practicable, as far to the right as is safe. So this doesn't mean riding right up against the curb where your tires are an inch from the curb. That's not safe, that's not practicable. Cyclists need room to maneuver. It can be glass that's there on the side of the road, or snow, or debris, or puddles, or it can be parked cars that have a possible opening door. So what we teach cyclists is that you want to have at least 3 feet of clear space at either side. So the League of American Bicyclists at the national level, the New York Bicycling Coalition, the Governor's Traffic Safety Committee, and the RCA, we all advise cyclists to ride with at least 3 feet of clear space on each side. And that's, again, if I'm riding and to my right, it could be a curb, it could be a line of parked cars. You want to ride far enough away so that if a car door opens, you're not going to go right into it. And likewise, on the left side, you want to position yourself on that bike so that motorists are passing you with at least 3 feet of space. New York State does have a safe passing law. That safe passing distance is commonly accepted as at least 3 feet. And New York State law protects cyclists when they need to resort to taking the lane or controlling the lane, which means moving out there into the middle to encourage safe passing. Sometimes lanes, particularly narrow lanes, they're just too narrow to share, and state law does protect cyclists when they need to encourage safe passing by moving out into the middle. So as we already pointed out, Rochester is putting bike infrastructure all over the place. We're really happy to see that. It is doing a great job of getting more people on bikes. And New York state law says that if a dedicated bike facility is available and safe, a cyclist does have to use it. But if a bike lane is unsafe or it's obstructed, a cyclist can come out of it into other lanes. And of course, cyclists are allowed to leave the bike lane if they're preparing for a turn, if they're preparing for an intersection, or of course, if they're going to a mid-block destination, they can come out of that bike lane. We do like to point out that some bike infrastructure by its very design is just not safe. This is an example of what I would deem to be an unsafe bike lane on Clinton. If a cyclist is going to proceed straight through an intersection, we teach our cyclists to never position yourself to the right of someone that can make a right turn in front of you. And this is one of those instances where we would encourage a cyclist going straight through that intersection to move over to the left a little bit so that they don't get right hooked or left crossed at that intersection. Cyclists, as you can imagine, are most vulnerable at intersections. And so, especially in the cases like this, where there are no special turn lanes for each direction, a cyclist is going to make their intention known by proper roadway position as they approach intersections like this. So a cyclist taking a left turn at this intersection, they're going to position themselves as close as they can to the center line to tell everybody around them that they're going to be making a left turn. A cyclist that's going to be proceeding straight through that intersection, the best thing to do is position yourself straight in the center of that lane. Again, to communicate your intentions to prevent right and left hooks at that intersection. A cyclist that's taking a right turn can go right next to the curb to communicate their intention to make a right turn. Parked cars and bike lanes is a very big issue in this community. We want to convey that it is a public safety issue. Cyclists in these bike lanes, when they encounter situations like these, they have to veer out into traffic, which can be extremely dangerous. And so the city made these lanes as lanes for travel for bicyclists. This is where we can ride and feel a little bit less stress. And so it's important to keep those bike lanes clear. Blocked bike lanes are definitely a deterrent to biking, and blocked lanes do not help the city meet its goals. So last fall, the city did update the code to make this a ticketable offense. So if you could help enforce the new code by keeping these bike lanes clear, it would go a long way towards helping the city meet its goals and make cyclists feel safe. So in the event of a crash, please keep in mind that the cyclist, because we're vulnerable road users, likely we're going to be disoriented, we're going to be hurt, so please be patient with us. And the bike community would ask that you would treat a bike car crash exactly like you would crash between two motor vehicles. If you would ticket a motorist for rear-ending another motorist or for T-boning another motorist, we would ask you to do the same for a motorist hitting a bicyclist. Use your discretion, use all the means available to you to ascertain what happened there, ask witnesses what they saw. But if a cyclist is hurt and they didn't do anything wrong, this is an opportunity to enforce the law by ticketing a motorist. So we would appreciate that. Finally, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me, cycling@reconnectrochester.org. Again, Reconnect Rochester and the Rochester Cycling Alliance. We look forward to further collaboration, and thanks so much for having us today. Take care, stay safe.